Hi there, and welcome to the Redmond District bumper fisheries feedback video. As you will recall, we didn't have an episode last month. That's mainly because Jim and Dell and the rest of the guys were incredibly busy with the hatchery and we're getting our venues up and ready. But we have got some great spring fish to show you. We've got our usual news, competitions, announcement and features. So let's roll it. Let's get on with it. Well, Dale, Fisheries report. I suppose the big news is Cottage Lane is now open.
Yes. Albeit not finished, but it's open and you can fish it. It looks a little bit like a quarry at the minute, but it's just the nature of the beast. You know, you've got to sort of smash a few eggs to make an omelette. And if anyone sort of remembers what Wilmot's looked like in 2017 through to 2019, then you can appreciate, it will get better.
Look, Dale, when you took me around there well before the opening, I thought, my God, this is a culture change. Obviously, the lake to the right, which will be the Silverfish Lake, still looks pretty good with a cover on the far side. But what's going to be the Cart Runs water is incredibly bare. But my God, once you opened it, haven't the members been catching fish?
Exactly, and it proves our point, in so much as and why we've done it. We've done it to encourage better water quality. If you get better water quality, the fish feed harder. It's as simple as that. Just looking at the catch reports, and the thing that I like more than anything is people catching tench. Tench were a little bit of a rarity on Cottage Lane.
They were hard to find.
Whereas now there's a lot of them being caught. Me and Nick's just been up there just now, and a guy sat up there and he's had 2 today. Obviously what we're doing and the approach we're taking has got its benefits.
Well, I'll put a few pictures up. Riley McDonald, lovely carp, Richard Jones' boy with tench, as you mentioned, and of course Jem Fox. I knew Jem wouldn't let us down.
Yeah.
We had a couple of people questioning why we were doing this work, and I thought, well, you wait till Jem gets down there. And he posted that great video of him getting a carp on the fly, and he's caught quite a few fish off the top.
Exactly. I understand it's not everybody's cup of tea, and I know we've probably upset a few people. However, when you see things like what Jem's doing with his fly rod down there and this, that, and the kids getting down there and being able to fish it properly now, it makes it worth it. And fair play to Jem. I bet he looked at it and went, oh, happy days, and rubbed his hands together.
Well, you could hardly fly fish Cottage Lane before, could you?
It was tricky. It wasn't impossible, but it was very tricky.
And let's just remind people, the reason why we've taken the trees down is because of the DO crash we had last year. We were dangerously close to losing a large proportion of that stock of fish. We've now got much better water quality and we can rebuild the fishery.
Yeah, that's it. It's a blank sheet of paper. Those that are old enough to remember and have been members long enough can remember Cottage Lane in the sort of early 80s, and it's pretty much exactly how it was when we first took it on. It's a blank sheet of paper, and we can manoeuvre things, manipulate things to how we want it and how our members like to fish. So it's a reset.
Brilliant, good to see. So one of the reasons we didn't have the video last month was, of course, it was very busy time for the hatchery. So we've had the dace, we've had the roach, and you've had the chub and barbel as well. How's it gone?
Yes, it's gone pretty well. Look, we're still making mistakes. They're just less of them, if you like. It's gone well. We said right from the outset, first year one, we'd be happy if we got 500 fish out of it. Well, we ended up with about 10,000. We said we'd ramp it up a little bit. So we have ramped it up. And I reckon we've probably got between 30, 40, 50,000, somewhere around about there. So we've taken that extra step now. And we've got all 4 species in there, which we didn't have last year. So lots of lessons learnt. But we're heading in the right direction, and next year, we're going to be going, all out next year. So,
well, we're going to be doing the releases soon, but I think it would be remiss of us not to say a huge thank you to our funders, all the other clubs in the area, Calpac, Civil Service, Newbury, everybody else, Red Spinners that have contributed, but also to our own members. We put that little voluntary donation box on your renewal form this year.
Yeah.
To be honest, Del, I thought if it raised £1,000, I would be delighted.
Yeah, same
We've
as
raised
that.
over £3,000, you guys. You've been absolutely tremendous, and we can't thank you enough. The hatchery is in a healthy position. We're going to be coming back for more next year, but we haven't got any worries about money for the moment.
Oh, no. It's fantastic. Not that I'm under any pressure now.
We're under loads of pressure.
Yeah, exactly. But look, I can't thank everyone enough. I mean, this has been a dream of mine for years and years and years, and it's now a reality. And the only way it's a reality is the support we get. Simple as that.
Well, thanks everyone. Wileys, we talked about that Wileys a lot. You finally got it open early May. You've got 3 sides open, have you?
Yeah, well, 2.5. Yeah, we had. I think it was early May actually, because we had a student there giving us an hand. So we managed to get sort of one full bank open, and the car park bank and the top bank are half open. Mm-hmm. It's doing all right. I've been complimented a couple of times when I've had a walk around there by people saying how great it looks, la, 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 la. I'm actually waiting at the moment for some negative comments, because everything at the moment is positivity, and that don't last for long. But it's coming along. Because the spanner in our sort of works as far as sort of planning how we do things was Cottage Lane. We didn't, this time last year we had no plans doing anything with Cottage Lane. Cottage Lane, we had to act soon, and we're at the sort of pace at which the contractors that done the trees wanted to do it, get it done before the bird's nests, la 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 la. So that sort of chucked a bit of a spanner in the works, and that's why Wiley's has taken us this little bit extra long time to do.
That and the floods.
That and the floods, which hopefully we've cured now. We will be back onto Wiley's to get the rest of the banks opened up. We're looking, once the streaming's out of the way, we're looking to do that end of this month, so end of June, by which time we've probably got about a week's work there, something like that. Get that done, get that opened, get it all out the way, squared away. Then we can then go back onto Cottage Lane and look at fixing that. But it's been busy, to say the least.
Oh, I can see that. And in terms of Wileys, look, we have no idea what the stock is in that water. It's been flooded for months and months on end.
About 18 months.
So we may have gained fish. I'm pretty sure we gained some carp. We may have lost fish as well. So until really we've had a season fishing it and we can see how it's fished and see what kind of fish are coming out, then we can make some decisions about restocking. But for the certainly in the short term, all we can do is fence it, fish it, and then take an assessment.
Yeah, that's it. What we plan to do is, obviously, catch reports are really important. We need to know what people are catching. And I know there's a lot of secret squirrels out there and everything else, but, if you want to see an improvement in Wiley's, then you're going to have to let us know. So we need to have some catch reports. We will electro-fish it come the winter. However, electro-fishing, as I constantly say to everyone seems to think that you go out with your kit and every fish in the whole lake just comes to the top and you count them. It doesn't happen like that. You only get a representation of what's in there. Yeah. So even though we'll electro-fish it, we won't know. It needs the catch reports and the electro-fishing to build a picture. So it's really important, if you can, to put some stuff up on the Facebook. Even drop me a message if you don't want it to go out to the public. Just drop me a message and say, I've caught this or I've caught that. So we can get a bit of a picture, because that will be key to us stocking it in the winter. Because the last thing we want to be doing is putting fish in there. We end up with too many in there and then they will go belly up.
Yeah. Okay, moving on quickly to a couple of other little projects. We had a very pleasant day with Jim and yourself and me and Paul and Rob West from RDAA Club. We put 6 new styles in and just put the pictures up if you haven't seen them before. So those of you like Kevin Hargreaves and Shane Page in particular, who had a very enjoyable winter rolling around in the mud underneath the barbed wire fence, you don't have to do that anymore, guys. We've got you 6 nice new styles. There's another series of gates and other styles that are already there. So no excuse for rolling around on the ground.
Unless you want to.
Of course, yeah. There's nothing in the rules that say you can't, but you don't have to. So the Blackwater has been opened up. It was a deal we did with the controlling club, and nice little bit of cooperation there. And actually, it's quite a pleasant day out, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, to be fair. Although I think the timing could have been better, because if we'd have done it today, the ground would have been a bit softer than it was. was. 'Cause it was
granite, wasn't it?
It was very, very hard. And when you think that floods every year, you know, it's. But yeah, it was a good day. To be fair, the sun was shining. You know, everyone was in good humour. Jim took a bit of stick, but that's what he's here for.
Of course. And lastly, while we're talking about Jim, a bit of a shout out to Jim, as they say on Radio 2. He has been busy doing some streaming, hasn't he?
He has, yes. I've got to an age now where I don't want to do it. So, you know, there's no point in having a dog and barking yourself. So Jim's doing the streaming this year, and a good job he's doing too. And it is busy, and it is a thankless task, because I can guarantee you now, come opening week, someone will come out of the woodwork and say, "You ain't done this bit."
Well, there you go. So, Jim, thanks a lot, Jim, and you can look forward to the inevitable avalanche of praise and possibly one or two bits of criticism. But
we got broad shoulders.
Exactly. Okay, let's move on then. Better Fishing Academy. We're kind of halfway through now. We've had the lure sessions up at Froxfield, which was well attended, and big thanks to Marius and Ben and George Lovell and Pavel and the guys that helped out there. That was a very successful session. The 10th session was a real surprise. We had it on Flint. It's not been an easy spring with the weather we've had for Tench. Everyone has been moaning up and down the country. And yet out of the blue, young Tom Roberts, fishing with Andy Dodd, of course. The rod screened off while Doddy was explaining his rigs, and Tom picked the rod up, and there was an 8-pound tench on the end, clearly a personal best, even if he only half caught it himself.
Yeah, he'll go a long time before he gets another one like that, I'm sure. Yeah.
So that was good. And then I think the day before the opening of Cottage Lane, Scott and Charlie... And on the carp tuition, which was back in May, I think it was the day before you opened.
It was,
Lane, wasn't
it? The evening before we opened.
So we had Scott Elvin, we had Charlie Jolly, and I think we had Jim Stansfield down there. Fish were caught. Lots of information was imparted, and it was a really nice way of opening Cottage Lane, I thought.
Yeah, it was decent, to be fair, and they had better weather this year as well.
Oh, do you remember last year?
Last year, exactly. However, I was moving the digger off of the venue as they turned up, so they did end up with muddy boots, but at least they didn't get wet.
Yeah, that's a great way of preparing a fishing swim, isn't it? Had a digger going up and down the bank.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm afraid we're completely full for the Bible session on August the 20th on the Kennet. There are still vacancies for the Thames fishing techniques with Michael DeZille and others on September 13th, and that'll be at Southstoke. And then the pike session on October the 18th with Steve Parker and the Reading Pike Group. There are still vacancies for that. So book in through the website, book in through Steve Reed, and get yourself a bit of fishing knowledge.
Yeah.
Be remiss of me not to mention the great work that our coaching program are doing, our coaching team are doing. We've had lots of schools. I think one Saturday we had 53 kids turn up.
Yeah. I mean,
too many, really.
It was bedlam down here.
Yeah.
It was bedlam.
And the guys have been really good. They've reached out to some of the local schools in Whitley. We had kids from the Nurture unit at Christ the King Primary School. They were actually accompanied by Yuan Yang, local MP for the Early and Whitley area. A really good day. I mean, these weren't easy kids, but I mean, the schools were incredibly thankful for the RDAA coaching team. So we'll put the poster up now just to advertise the forthcoming events. But we've got a pretty good product overall. I think when you combine the coaching offer with the Better Fishing Academy, it's the total package, isn't it?
Yeah. And look, they're getting more and more popular. So it's obviously we're doing something right.
Yeah, we must be. Couple of other thanks as well. There will be a website upgrade. Dell has asked for new pictures of the venues, and we're very grateful to Mike Ellis, to Paul Tolman and Dave Nunn, who's gone out there and taken pictures during the month of May when our venues look particularly nice. Perhaps not Cottage Lane, but so all those new imagery is now being processed, and we hope to have the website upgrade, well, certainly done by the autumn. Don't forget the open day. That's next month, July the 5th. Put the poster up again. Phil Spinks and Gary Newman are the guests. We've still got vacancies for car boots, so contact me through the website or through Facebook Messenger if you want a stall, and we'll be announcing the full programme in the next couple of weeks. I think that probably concludes the announcements. We ought to move on to the fishing pictures.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, well, I just on the website sort of pictures. Joe Brazil from Sticky Baits went out and done all of our lakes for us as well. So a big thanks to Joe and Sticky, to be fair, because I know Sticky paid his wages for the day. So thanks very much.
That's good. And while we're saying thank you, I'll stick the picture up of you getting your certificate for 25 years of service. It was nice to see you embarrassed.
Yeah, I was lost for words.
I know. You've seen the picture, how red you go.
Yeah. It was a bolt from the blue, shall we say?
Well,
and very much appreciated.
If we don't mark 25 years, what else are we going to mark?
Yeah, well, I got the bald head and grey hairs to.
Well, quite. I mean, in 25 years' time, you won't even be able to hold a certificate.
That's true. I don't even think I'll be here. So it'll be Jim getting one then.
Hopefully. Right, so let's roll the galleries. Well, Dale, we forget a lot of April was quite cold and miserable with horrible northeast winds.
Yeah, it wasn't very nice. It wasn't very nice.
So I'm not surprised that the Wilmot's carp kind of dominated a lot of the pictures. But just a quick mention to our old friend Marius. That is a beautiful pike.
I mean, pike when they're like that are sort of an angler's dream. They really are fantastic when they're like that. At certain times of the year and certain pike, depending on where they come from, they can be quite washed out and a little bit battered around the edges. But that is just, it's picture postcard stuff. That
I think we'd probably give him the prize if he hadn't won it several times before.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I think he's won it twice. So, sorry, Marius.
Got to spread it around.
Yeah.
And congratulations anyway, Marius, on a great fish. And I know, being Marius, it would have been caught on the lure as well.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt about it. So, who have you chosen for the April fishing picture of the month then?
Well, as usual, it's quite difficult. But I've narrowed it down to Rex Beresford. For his carp from Wilmot's.
It is a lovely picture. As you say,
smiley faces.
Yeah, encapsulates the joy of fishing and the success of Wilmot's.
Yeah, exactly. So come along, give us a shout, drop us a message, and I'll get your prize into the hut from Rod Hutchinson and Bait Tech, and you can come pick it up.
Congratulations, Rex. Right, we'll move on and roll the May gallery. Well, May, Dell, the weather improved and the catches improved.
Yes, yeah, it just shows you a bit of sunshine,
Well, quite.
water warming up, etc., etc.
Before you make your judgment, I just want to highlight a couple of things. I mean, we've had some good, well, mainly in April, but also in May, some good bags of tench reported from Brownlee. I read one guy, Rob Wall, I think, had 11. And look at this lovely bream that Ashley Holmes.
Yeah.
Is that one of the ones we stocked, do you think?
Possibly. It's
quite a lump.
Who knows? I mean, we stocked them in there. Probably the biggest we put in there was probably around about 3 to 4 pounds. So I'd be surprised. There were a few in there anyway.
Right.
But I mean, the thing with Brownlee is it gets overlooked a little bit. And it's not the easiest water to fish, but we are seeing more and more people sort of, what tends to happen is they come to fish Wilmots. There's a lot of people on Wilmot, so they go to the next best thing, which is Brownlee. So we're getting more people fishing Brownlee, more people fishing, more fish being caught.
Yeah. Well, let's highlight the tench as well. We'll hear a lot more about tench when I come on to give the prizes for the fish of the month. But I mean, Doddy come up with a 912 tench from one of our waters. He was understandably upset because it just spawned out. It wasn't a double, but I mean, it's still a very, very good tench.
That is some tench. I mean, that's 11, 12 pound all day long.
It's a big fish. It's a big fish.
Yeah. Look, any tench over. I mean, it's the same with carp. You know, anybody sort of, it's all got to be a 30 pounder, plus 40 pounder, 50 pounder, whatever. But people forget how rare these fish are, and fish over 8 pound tench wise is a big, big fish.
It really is. And while we're on tench, let's just pop up Stephen Kane's, his first ever tench from Wiley's, and very good for us to see those fishy Wileys, because we're not sure about the tench, are we, in there? No. And so we need to see it. We need to see more of that.
It. As I said earlier on, you know, we need to see as many as people are catching, even if they just message me. I need to see them.
Absolutely. Okay, Del, your shout.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a bit of an unusual one this month, and because it's. I mean, I've always said this is a photo competition, and it needs smiley faces and this, that, and the other. But I smiled, so if I smiled, then it counts.
Oh, it's bloody rare, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's going to Mark Turner for his trout from Upper Benyons. Upper Benyons, we have a little trout syndicate on there during the coarse close season, and for the last few years that we've been running it, they've struggled because we've had floods, it's been awful weather, and what they call Duffer's Fortnight, which is the last sort of couple of weeks of May when the mayfly come up, has always been a bit of a whitewash, or washout, sorry. And but this year, it's fished really well because we've got low water, big fly hatches. Say that when you're steaming. So it's a trout. And he had a great day. Over 2 consecutive days, I think he had about 3 or 4 fish. And that's just a fantastic photo. I just love to see that. It's really good.
And if anyone is interested in joining the Redden District Trouts group, all the details are on Upper Benyons, and there's some links on the bottom of the page on the venue page on the website.
Yeah, and it's worth it. And to be fair, even if the fishing is difficult, it's nice just to be up there. Well,
get to wander around, you see the chub sporting.
Exactly that.
Lovely. Well, congratulations, Mark, and get in touch with us, and your prizes will be sent wherever you need them. Okay, my turn now. Fish of the month. So this is going to be a little awkward. April is dead easy. We had a early double-figure tench from Pinchwood, Scott Pepiot, £10.6, great fish, undoubtedly the best fish of the month, and so the April award goes to Scott. He wins the £50 Angling Direct voucher and a nice trophy. Get in touch with me, Scott, and we'll arrange the traditional handover. So congratulations. May, on the other hand, May saw Adam Bass with a fantastic 11-1 tench, certainly the biggest tench reported from Admiralty
so far
this year. and we've had quite a few doubles reported already. But also our old friend Scott Evelyn with a 17.2 bream. I'm putting the picture up again from Flint. An absolutely magnificent fish.
Yeah, it's not that long ago that would have broken records.
It wasn't. I was saying to a guy out here when I was a kid, £13.6 was a record bream.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible fish. They're two amazing fish. Unfortunately, neither Scott nor Adam have submitted the forms, which means that Scott Edwards, who has the distinction of landing a brace of double figure tench
that doesn't happen very often.
That doesn't happen. Yeah, he's going to win the May Award for a 10.8 tench. So there we go. Two £10 tench win our April and May Awards. Congratulations to Scott. And just a salutary reminder to everyone else: if you do catch a specimen fish and you want it entered into the competition, all you've got to do is go on the website, click the link, fill in the form, send me a message, and your fish will go into the prize. But congratulations to Adam. Congratulations to the three Scots. Pretty good fish all round. So very, very proud that we're able to highlight all of these wonderful specimens.
It's not bad for 80 quid, is it?
I think one of them might have been on the night ticket.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so our final item is, as ever, young Jim, who's allowed a break from strimming to tell us...
only just.
Just for an hour.
Yeah. He's going to get back out there this evening.
Yeah, I heard you brought him a head torch so he could strim at night.
Yeah, of course.
Right? Yeah, that's very kind of you. Such employment, such a boss. Okay, let's have Jim, and he can tell us about fishing prospects for the month of June. Right, Jim. Well, June is one of those months where you've got to go through the whole the whole gamut of our waters.
Yep.
But let's just start with the lakes first. So, recommendations for June?
Obviously, looking at the gallery we've just seen, it's going to be your tench fishing. The tench fishing, they've definitely really woken up now. There's plenty of weed getting up in the edges, so for the guys that are sort of coming down early morning, just with a single rod, sort of float fishing in the edges, now's your time to be doing it.
And of course, some of our waters, still waters, actually open on June the 16th, don't they?
Yes, Longwater Lake, we've got closed season on there, so as of June the 16th, Longwater will be open. It's a great place just to go for sort of a mixed bag of fish. You can plop a feeder rod out, float fish. You can sort of float fish for silvers all day long, or plop a feeder out. You can catch tench and bream, and there's a really good head of fish in there. You can have a great day's fishing over there.
And there are some areas of Longwater that are quite good for tench on the float, aren't there? Is that one of the reedy banks where it narrows up? I can't remember.
There's a couple of sort of spots. I've done quite well in the past, actually, in December, where the sort of the boards are, where they used to moor the boats on. I think it's peg 16 maybe. I've actually caught tench there in December, and it's really deep, about 2 rod lengths out. It's about 10 foot off those boards. So if you can find those sort of deep margin areas, great place, just a couple of handfuls in there and fish a float over the top, you can definitely have a good day there.
Smashing. And the rivers, I mean, I looked on the EA gauges. We haven't had a lot of rain, and a lot of the rivers up and down the country are not looking very good. But the Kennet's still flowing quite well, isn't it?
Yeah, there's plenty of water and a good bit of colour in the Kennet as well. So definitely for the guys, the sort of specimen guys that want to get out with their roving rods come the 16th, trying to pick up these chub and barbel, there's definitely going to be some good areas to be. The Thames, I was up at Sonning the other day. You could have waggler fished up at Sonning the other day. Very slow at the minute. So again, for these guys that are normally going out on the Thames and thinking to take your big 45 gram feeders, you'll be fine with your sort of little Dren and black caps at the minute, until obviously we get a bit more rain, it starts pushing a bit.
The roach never really turn on that early on the Thames, do they? It's normally end of July, August time, but there's still good mixed fishing to be had on the Thames.
Oh yeah, certainly. Yeah, you can go up to the Thames. At Sonning the other day, I saw bleak in pretty much every other swim I walked into. There was bleak pimpling about out there. So yeah, there's going to be times you're not going to bag up whilst the river's sort of running a bit slow and a bit clear, but it will progress and it will only get better.
Thanks very much. Well, looks like we've got everything to look forward to now, haven't we?
Yeah, pretty much.
We can fish the lakes, we can get down the Longwater, and we can even get on the rivers come June the 16th.
Yeah, that's it. And Loddon at Wiston Mill, I've just streamed it today. It looks prime for a bit of roving up there.
Oh, good advice. Thank you very much, Jim.
Welcome.
Okay, that's it for another 2 months. Hope you found that interesting. As you can see, a hell of a lot going on and some great advice from Jim on what you can hope to catch in the coming weeks. So good luck out there and tight lines.